champions were winners. Will it be defending titleist Butch Gilliland or Kevin Harvick? They both have 2 wins on the season. Gary Smith and Sean Woodside have a score to settle. Smith took Woodside into the wall at Altamont. Will it be payback at Portland? Welcome to Portland, Oregon, the city of roses. We've come to the Pacific Northwest for the TCI Digital Cable 200. Hi, everybody. I'm Ralph Sheheen, along with Winston Cup star Michael Waltrip. Let's head downstairs to the 3rd member of our crew, Brett Armstrong.
Ralph, this is definitely one of the toughest tracks on the NASCAR Winston West Series circuit. Tough because it's so difficult to pass here. The drivers say the top lane is very, very tricky, and so track position is a premium. Qualifying is important, and also hitting the pit stops right, very important. It's also an elusive racetrack. If you look back over the last 11 years, there have been 11 different winners here at Portland. Back-to-back wins, you have to go back 23 years to 1975-76 when Ernie Sturley pulled off that feat. It would seem that no one has a handle on this flat half mile.
The whole secret here is that you don't go overdrive the car, because if you get in there too fast, it upsets the car and just wants to push up and then get loose. It's one of them tracks where you got to almost drive slower to go faster. We tried a lot of different combinations this last time out. It seemed like when I slowed it down, didn't enter so fast, we went faster to the times. We're more consistent and fast.
I think we're fighting a lot of weather. You know, it's rained all day, so seems like everybody's been getting loose the longer they run, and setup's going to change minutely, but just have to deal with it.
Ralph, this track opened in 1924. It's an old racetrack with a young driver on the pole, 20-year-old Brandon Ash.
One of the new young guns of the NASCAR Winston West Series, 20-year-old Brandon Ash in his 18th start in the NASCAR Winston West Series. Brandon, you're the Bud Pole winner. You surprised a lot of people here tonight. Did you surprise yourself?
Well, a little bit. You know, this is a big bonus for us here. We didn't expect to get a pole. We're good off the trailer, but we didn't think we had a shot at it, and put a lap together on a good set of Goodyear tires and grab the pole.
What's it going to take to stay up front tonight?
Well, I think a lot of consistency and just take care of the tires and be smooth. It's a tough racetrack, and I think we can stay up front if we do those things.
Well, the field is rolling, and the green is going to come out next time by as we take a look at the grid. Michael, how does the Winston West car stack up to your Winston Cup car?
Well, they're virtually the same, Ralph. In fact, I won a race in Winston West last year at Pikes Peak, and the car that I won in was an ex-Wood Brothers Winston Cup car. The engines are a little bit different with less compression ratio in these Winston West cars, and also they're on bias ply tires tonight. You're liable to see a lot of sliding and skating in the corners. Some pretty exciting action, I'm sure.
This racetrack getting set to watch these Winston West cars come up to speed. Welcome to Portland, Oregon. We're going green for the TCI Digital Cable 200. In and out of turns 1 and 2 and headed down the backstretch and opening up a pretty good lead now out of Malahat, British Columbia. It's Gary Smith and that blue number 16.
Sean Woodside rides right in behind him, Ralph, and like I said, about slipping and sliding, they were together and sideways right into the first turn. So the action will be furious in these Winston West races on small tracks. This is the place where these guys really shine.
There's a good battle going on in the back of the pack. That's Brandon Ash, who started on the pole in car number 23. On the inside with the 98 running up in the higher group, Kevin Culver.
There's 2 grooves here at Portland. We see a lot of good side-to-side racing at a racetrack like this. It's very rough. You can see the cars bouncing around, and suspension and how you set up your car is the important thing to make the difference in where you finish tonight.
The Spears-sponsored blue and white number 75 is Kevin Harvick on the inside, dips a wheel into the grass, and again, that's something you got to watch out for, Michael. That's a good way to cut a tire down.
It's a real good way to cut a tire on a bias ply tires. That's the main reason we went to radials in Winston Cup, was those rocks would just cut the thin tread into bias ply tires. But on a radial tire, if you put the car down in the grass like that, it'll want to spin out with you. You'll see these guys getting away with driving through the grass. The price to pay will be a flat tire later on.
Saugus, California, Sean Woodside in the blue 07 with the yellow numerals holds on to second place. Here's the battle between Ash in the 23 and Harvick in the 75. Harvick trying to get to the bottom. He loves that bottom groove. Look at him squirt through there.
Right through the grass. You can see the left front wheel pop up off the ground. The car, the 23 of Ash, he started the race from the pole on Goodyear tires. Those are Hoosier tire cars all passing him. So we might see a story already developing there.
The Napa Auto Parts sponsor number 16 of Gary Smith out front, leading this one as we complete another lap. And now it becomes a two-car fight for the lead as the 40 has dripped back a little bit here. Kelly Tanner was running in third, and now Mikey finds himself in fourth and slowing down.
Well, the car of Harvick, the 75 Spears car, that's a great race car. We see that car at Sears Point and in a lot of conjunction races with the Winston Cup deal. He'll run strong all night long. You can count on that.
Another lap goes in the book with Smith out front, the 1997 Rookie of the Year, leading in the early stages here at Portland. And these two competitors in a controversial finish in the last race last weekend at Altamont. Woodside and Smith getting together, and Harvick, who runs in third, ended up coming up the winner at Altamont after a wild 200-lap race there. Here's a look at the top 10 after 10 laps of racing here at Portland. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The US 500, presented by Toyota. Feel the speed. Sunday, July 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central on ABC. The FedEx Championship Series.
Here's how you can more than double your current life insurance coverage without paying 1 penny more than you are now. Simply call Best Quote. We'll prepare a free comparison of 5 super low rate policies that meet your specific needs. Best Quote's computer network continuously surveys the nation's top-rated insurers to save you up to 70% and more on the term life coverage that safeguards your family. Consider this. Right now, a 35-year-old male can get $250,000 coverage for about $11.90 a month, 10 years guaranteed. A 40-year-old male would pay just $16.02 for the same amount of coverage, 10 years guaranteed. If that's less than you're currently paying, call Best Quote today, and we'll prepare and rush to you a free rate comparison detailing 5 policies that meet your family's needs.
Call Best Quote today at 1-800-758-4306. There's no obligations and no hassles. Simply the best insurance at the best rates from Best Quote. Call 1-800-758-4306. No salesperson will ever call you.
So I'm trying to get here, leave my house, rock slide. Can't go down the coast highway. Have to go around the entire city, 92 miles to go, what normally would be 18. Get cut off in the off-ramp by some jerk. Finally get here, looking for everybody. Nobody's here. I asked the man what's going on. He says it's closed. It's been closed for 32 years. What on earth am I doing even leaving my couch? I gotta be nuts.
Welcome back to Portland, Oregon, and Speed Vision's coverage of the TCI Digital Cable 200 for NASCAR's Winston West Series. You're watching the fight for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Kelly Tanner's number 40 is in front of this pack. He holds down 4th. The 98 machine of Kevin Culver is in 6th position. The number 1 of Butch Gilliland out of Anaheim is in 7th. The 23 just in front of them is Brandon Ash. He's in 5th, and there's Tanner at the front of the freight train. Michael at number 40.
Hey, Ralph, I love to watch short track racing, especially on these bias flat tires. You see the cars sliding every which way. Great battles all over this racetrack. Gary Smith is now moving up on some lap traffic, trying to work his way through the lap traffic with Sean Woodside applying the pressure, and not too far back is Kevin Harvick in that Spears Chevy.
Now white number 69 is Blair Aiken out of Lakeport, California. He's been on the tour for a few years. He moves to the high side to let the leaders by, and now heavy traffic in front of them, including the number 26 of Ron Burns out of Phoenix.
These cars are obviously a lot quicker than the cars you're seeing them get through right here. And anytime you have that situation, generally the first guy that gets there pays the price and doesn't get through them as quick as he wants. Just as I say that, Woodside fires up on the outside of Gary Smith as this traffic begins to hold the leaders up. Pretty wide in the third one. Look at that.
And a lot of contact, too. And remember, these two have a history from a week ago, getting together at Altamont in the closing stages of that one.
Yeah, and Harvick's sitting there saying, guys, you want to do it again? I'll take advantage. It doesn't matter to me. I don't mind flipping to the front. I'll do it early this week instead of waiting until the end.
That's right. Drivers have good memories, too, don't they?
Oh, you can't forget. You can't. That guy in third remembers just as well as the first two does. what happened last week. And it's amazing. That car, the 26 that you spoke of earlier, he is a lot slower than these fast cars, but he's good enough to keep the leaders behind right now. He's holding them up. He doesn't want to go a lap down. That caution flies right now. He can come back around to the front, make some adjustments to that board, and be a contender is what he's thinking right now.
What's the rule of thumb on that, Michael? If you're in a position like that and the leaders are coming up behind you, when do you decide enough is enough and I got to get out of the way?
Well, you don't, as the guy trying to go a lap down. You stay right there until the end if you can. You know, like I said, the caution makes a big difference.
Brandon Ash in the 23 trying to hold up Gilliland. Gilliland cuts to the bottom, and he's going to take the position away from Ash as they make their way down to turn number 3. And now the 98 of Culver tries to come along. Let's check in with Fred Armstrong with more on Gilliland.
Crew Chief David Gilliland for Butch Gilliland. David, Butch is moving up through the field pretty handily. What's he saying about the race car?
Oh, we made a bunch of changes on the race car just before the race, and the car's perfect right now. We're just taking our time and getting up through the field, and we're looking for that lap 200.
Butch seems like he's a little impatient. He wants to get up to the front. Are you having to slow him down, or are you telling him to go for it?
No, I'm having to keep him patient. Patience is what's going to win this race tonight, and that's what we're here for.
That move to the inside of Kelly Tenders, number 40, will now give Gilliland 4th position. Remember, he started this race in 10th. Well, he's making some headway, Mike.
He is, and the conditions are changing, Ralph. As you can imagine, when the race started, the sun was still on the surface, the temperature on the track was up. Now it's getting dark. The cars that are really set up for the longer runs are beginning to show their supremacy, and guys like Harvick, Woodside, Gilliland, these are guys in this series that are tough each and every week, and it's no surprise that they're running toward the front. Ash had a great qualifying effort, but it looks like he might be a little bit off tonight in the race setup.
45 laps completed to the schedule 200. We'll be back for more from Portland right after these words. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dick Clark, and now everyone can enjoy the freedom of the new ISIS cellular phone from Philips thanks to prepaid cellular.
Introducing prepaid cellular from Worldwide Direct. With prepaid cellular phone cards, there's no monthly bills.
Take the phone just in case.
Thank you.
And no contract, no credit check, and no deposit. Got car trouble?
My car is broken down. Can you come and help?
Help is just a call away. So forget those outrageous phone bills. With prepaid cellular phone cards, buying airtime is easy. Order from home and the phone arrives at your door ready to use. Get the Philips ISIS prepaid cellular phone, a $199 value, now just 3 easy payments of $33. And there's no contract, no credit check, no deposit, and no monthly bills.
So pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
Now, for only 3 payments of $33, you're guaranteed cellular service regardless of your credit history. Call 1-800-284-3822. Pick up the phone, America. It's for you.
If you use Right Guard, we challenge you to try new Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant with odor-absorbing baking soda. Its unique formula is proven to work better than Right Guard to stop odor all day. New Arm & Hammer aerosol deodorant. Better all-day protection. Much better.
As a sponsor of the Fan Tour, the Money Store is offering a $500 cash rebate on home equity loans. It's the Money Store 500 rebate. It's a great way to get rid of bills and cut expenses. And now you can get an extra $500 cash when you get your loan from the Money Store. If you're a homeowner, call 1-800-LOAN-YES now and ask for the Money Store 500 rebate.
I won!
But only if you call the Money Store.
Welcome back to the TCI Digital Cable 200 from Portland. Pit stop starting to happen. Let's check in down on pit road with Fred Armstrong, the first car in.
It's an early stop for Craig Rodman. He pulls his machine down the pit lane. Right side tire is going on the car. 1 can of 76 Racing gasoline. The hood goes up on Rodman's machine as well. He revs the motor. The tire change is complete. The fuel is in, but the hood is still up on Craig Rodman's car as it sits down along the pit lane.
Frustrations for Rodman as you watch the battle for second. The orange and blue 07 of Sean Woodside and that blue and white 75 of Kevin Harvick. They're scrapping for second right now.
That's good. Got a caution flying around.
A report, Mike, of dirt down in the corners, down in turn 3 area, and that's not a surprise. You see the 98 getting down into the dirt there, Kevin Culver. As much as those guys were dipping wheels, I'm not surprised that there's some dirt on the track.
Yeah, that's something that happens regularly on racetracks like this, and You know, NASCAR just likes to be careful, especially like I said earlier on the bias-applied tires. They cut real easy, so when you see dirt, there's probably rocks in it. They like to make sure that the track gets cleaned up when they get a chance.
So NASCAR will take care of the opportunity to run out there and sweep the racetrack, get everything cleared up. And we are under a yellow flag situation for the first time. Let's check back in with Fred Armstrong.
Kevin Richards pulls his machine down along the pit lane. Carlos Serrano and the boys go to work on that machine, right side rubber. 1 can of 76 racing gasoline going into Richards' machine. Been running pretty slow on the racetrack. They were concerned about the way the car was handling. Right now, they make an early pit stop and take advantage of this caution period.
You can see some of the other cars diving down onto pit road. In the middle of that was Kelly Tanner's number 40. He was running good early on. Now he's starting to slow back. Let's check back in with Fred Armstrong.
Kelly Tanner rolls down along the pit lane. Doug Jeffrey and the crew go to work on his machine. The Yoshida's Pontiac comes to rest. They'll go for left side rubber. 1 can of 76 racing gasoline as the crew completes the work on the left side of the car. 1 round of wedge going in the right side. 2 rounds, now 3 rounds of major adjustment for Kelly Tanner as the Woodinville, Washington driver is down and away.
Tanner hoping those adjustments will bring him back up to the front.
Your left rear, or I'm going to have a smaller right rear. Whatever side we do first, I got smaller tires, take a stagger out on acceleration, even the turn. You need a track bar lower, though, we can do that too for you. Pull the half of rubber out of the right front when we stop. All right, I think we should stay out. We only got 60 laps down. We need to go a little farther.
That was Butch Gilliland and crew that you were listening to. Mike, what do you think of what they say?
That's interesting stuff, Ralph. Those guys were just kind of throwing some stuff out there. The driver, I think, said take the rubber out of the right front. Obviously, his car's pushing a little bit. They also talked about the different size on the tires. The stagger on those tires are a really big adjustment on the bias-applied tires. They can also adjust the rear track bar, which raises and lowers the roll center on the race car. So they decided not to pit right now, but they wanted to begin the dialogue back and forth as to what it might take to fix that car so he can get that number 1 Ford to the front.
Butch Gilliland in car number 1, defending champion, 2 wins already this year from Tucson and Mesa Marin. A couple of other short tracks. Butch Gilliland, a short track specialist, trying to add the Portland victory to his resume here today. And we go back to green. Lead lap cars on the outside. The number 4 is one of the lappers. That's Jeff Davis out of Anaheim Hills, California. Leader's going by the outside. Smith is your leader. The 16, the 07 of Woodside runs in second. That blue and white 75 is Harvick. He is third. Gilliland's number 1. The red car is fourth. The 98 of Culver, red and white with the blue numerals, runs in fifth.
Those guys aren't going to have a whole lot of patience with that lap car. You know, when you're on the tail end of the lead lap and you're ahead of the leader, you know, everybody likes you to stay. It's okay to stay up front. But when you're running third or fourth and don't have a shot at getting that lap back, you better get out of the way. You can see there, third position changed hands. Gilliland stuck seriously out and got by Harvick.
Yeah, easy for you to say. And they also really held up Culver and Harvick back there. That made a big difference with them. And Culver gets around Harvick now to take over fourth. Leaders down into turn 3. 16 of Gary Smith out of British Columbia. His father, Roy Smith, for years, one of the big names on the Winston West Tour. Now Gary coming into his own. 65 laps completed. Smith still leading Woodside. Gilliland and Harvick. We've got plenty more laps for you from the TCI Digital Cable 200.
Veterans Paul Gentilozzi and Brian Simo take on road racing's rising stars in the MTV Trans Am Series presented by B.F. Goodrich.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with B.F. Goodrich tires?
Approved. Enjoy.
Any road you choose. B.F. Goodrich tires. Take control.
Here's what's coming up on Speed Vision.
Woodruff and Fred Armstrong. We bring in the GCI Digital Cable 200. Your leader, Gary Smith, and second place man, Sean Woodside, have spent a lot of time getting together recently at the last round. A lot of controversy. With more on that story, Fred Armstrong.
Well, Ralph, Gary Smith and Sean Woodside are drifting apart on the racetrack right now. A little different scenario than we had a few weeks ago when they were racing for the win on the final lap and crashed, setting off a big rivalry between the two drivers. We got together with each of them to talk about the aftermath before the show today.
Well, the Woodside-Smith rivalry rolls on. First of all, Sean, just describe what happened at Altamont.
We crashed, led a lot of laps, and I guess everybody's got a different point of view, but the end result was we got a wrecked race car. We didn't lead a 200th lap like we were hoping to, and my guys got a lot of work.
I mean, it was just a racing deal. You know, I followed Sean for a lot of laps there, about 198, and got on the outside of him, and led lap 199 thinking I was going to win the race, and beat him coming off of turn 2, and went down the backstretch, went in too hard and got into the dirt, come out of the dirt and ran into Sean. He got into the wall. And, you know, luckily we finished second. Disappointingly, you know, for him, he finished 5th, you know, with a badly damaged race car, you know, and that's not what I wanted to see.
You know, you got to take each race for what it is. The only reminder is, you know, I cracked some ribs in the deal, so I'm still a little bit sore from that, but you know, it'll be a little bit more interesting, I think, coming down the last lap again. You know, we'll race a little rougher, I think.
I tried to talk to him right after the race. He wasn't willing, which, hey, you can't blame him. He led 198 out of 200 laps and fell to 5th, you know. So, I mean, he was hurt. You know, the car was hurt. But like I say, whenever he's ready, he can come and talk to me. I don't have any problem with him. I mean, it wasn't deliberate, and I know he won't do anything deliberately to me. You know, it was racing, and it may happen before the end of the year. We're racing for points and wins each week. So, I mean, and it may not be over yet.
Pretty important for those two guys to get together and have a conversation soon, huh?
You can tell which guy wrecked his car and which guy didn't. You know, Gary Smith went on to finish second without a damaged car, and Sean's car was tore up. He's still a little bitter, but those guys are both competitors, and their paths will cross again before this year's over. That's for sure. Maybe tonight if we're lucky.
Yeah, maybe. And look at Obrist in the 93 coming up around the outside of Harvick. Harvick dropping back, but the great thing here, Mike, is Dan Obrist had a heart attack last year, getting back behind the wheel. Big night for him.
His car's running great, too. He's been steadily moving up. We saw the number 2 of Rodman in the pit earlier. He's on a little bit fresher tire, so it isn't a real big surprise to see him moving around Harvick. But the 93 is running well. That's a good deal that a 51-year-old driver has a heart attack and is able to rehab and get back on the racetrack and do what he loves to do.
Former late model champion right at this very Speedway back in 1993, Dan Obrist.
That car of Butch Gilliland, he's looking strong. They talked about all the work they were going to do on that thing and how it was pushing, and they might use spring rubber for track cars and so forth. But look at him move up right now without those adjustments. So, no, maybe the track's coming to him, and they might reevaluate that situation before they come to pit road.
The biggest problem for Gilliland right now is the record book. He's the defending winner of this race. And Mike, in the last 11 years, we've had 11 different winners of this event.
It's a very competitive race. This Winston West race in Portland has seen a lot of Winston Cup drivers make the trek out west for this event. Bill Elliott, I think, has won this race and been real competitive. Sterling Marlin is a guy that's been racing in Winston West and Portland. So no wonder there's been so many different winners. There's been a lot of tough competition in this race.
Darren Cope, Kenny Schrader, and Chad Little, all Winston Cup cars, former winners of this very event. Good battle for second as our leader starts to open up a bit of a lead. We got a good three-car fight for the second slot. Woodside 07. Oh, and look at this. Rodman back down pit road. So the Southwest Tour star having some problems here tonight.
Yeah, he got black flag. I'm not sure what the problem is with that car, but we saw him earlier with the hood up. So it might be something leaking or another problem with that car.
Well, let's go back down to pit road. Fred Armstrong with more on Rodman.
Well, Ralph, the trouble for Craig Rodman is that he's too loud. They have a noise limit here at Portland Speedway. It's about 102 dB. They measure the cars as they come down the front straightaway and check that dB level. Craig Rodman has been over for the past 5 or 6 laps. They had to call him in the first time. They checked him again. They had to call him in a second time, and now he's in a third time. The reason? Too loud.
That's frustrating. That's one that's not an easy or quick fix.
No, it isn't. I've gotten called down several times for being too loud, but never in a race. We don't have to deal with that. Oh, look at there. Gilliland getting a little aggressive with Woodside. I told you that car was good, and anytime you have a car that good, you want to let it go. You don't want to hold it back, and he's trying to work up through there, doing the top 5.
And we'll be back with more from Portland after this.
Beginnings may have been humble some 50 years ago, starting with a man named Big Bill and some hard-driving men with sand in their $2 shoes. But it's become the fastest-growing spectator sport in America, from the beaches of Florida to the shores of California. But while our beginnings may have been humble, rest assured that where we're headed will be too.
Thank you, Rusty.
No, thank you.
Because this is NASCAR, and this is our second 50 years.
If handheld trimmers get you down, call this number for free details about the revolutionary DR trimmer mower. The DR rolls light as a feather on 2 big wheels, trims around rocks, along fences, walls, and buildings. Plus, the DR mows lawns, fields, even roadside ditches without struggle. So call toll-free now for a free catalog about the revolutionary DR, the DR trimmer mower.
Pit road for tires. We got to look at the big picture. Don't keep blocking him. If we're slipping and sliding, let him go by. There's only 2 cars right on your tail, and then we got breathing room.
Sean Woodside's crew chief talking to him as the 07 tries to hold on up at the front of the field for second place. Now third, maybe fourth. That problem doesn't get any better here, Mike.
That's interesting, Ralph. We heard his crew chief tell him to slow down and save those tires. He was obviously, we saw a good battle earlier between he and Gilliland. The crew chief obviously thought that the tires might be going away on this very rough, abrasive Portland surface. So a little strategy there. I don't think I've seen that. He actually slowed down, let those 2 cars pass, and the ultimate goal is to catch that cat right there. And he wasn't doing a good job of it right then. They know they've got to come to pit road to work on that car, so they're going to take a break and go at them later, it sounds like.
That's going to be tough on his rhythm, too, which would be a big, important thing, I would think, on a short track.
Yeah, it is, but the chrome horn Gillen was honking at him was also tough on his rhythm, so he decided that would be the lesser of 2 evils, to slow down for a lap, regroup. Like I said, look forward to that pit stop, make some adjustments.
So your leader now has company as Gillen all over the backside of Smith. Earlier today during practice, our friend Armstrong caught up with NASCAR Vice President Dennis Hood.
Well, Dennis, this series has changed a lot over the last 10 years. Characterize the evolution of the NASCAR Winston West Series.
Well, first of all, we're real excited about the series. You know, the NASCAR Winston West Series is one that's grown through a number of years, and it's had a lot of competitors that have been around for a long time and really cut their teeth on racing, but have stayed in the series and have really brought some name power to the series over the years. But what we're seeing now is a change in that pattern, so to speak. We're seeing some younger generation drivers, so they're battling some of these guys that have been in here for a while. And we're seeing the younger generation that's really out there trying to make a name for themselves, trying to build themselves into that next level, that next generation driver. No matter what NASCAR rank they want to be involved in, there's a lot of people that want to stay in the NASCAR Winston West Series. So it's an exciting package, but I think for everybody involved, because the NASCAR Winston West Series has really seen the quality of competition, along with those younger drivers, along with the drivers that have been here a while. We're seeing that playing field is really starting to step up quite a bit. Now, when you talk about what's happened over a short period of time, it's really phenomenal. You know, we've had a record number of cars at most facilities. Now, we're running a Friday night here at Portland, and it's a tough arena, but we're seeing the best of the best here at Portland, and I think they're going to put on a great show. Now, the question comes down to what's going to happen down the road. You know? Down the road, if everything keeps going the way it's going, we're going to see the involvement take another step, and in 1999, see it take another step and beyond. So the future is really bright for the NASCAR Winston West Series. The competitors, the people that are behind it, the owners, the sponsors we're seeing coming on board, everything is leaning towards a real bright future. You know, and who's going to end up being the recipient of all that? It's going to be the fan in the grandstand. They're going to love it. So it's going to be a good package.
This series really looking good, too. These NASCAR Winston West Series cars really look sharp in racing action. Obviously very good, as you can see here tonight. Well, looks like more activity beginning down on pit road. Let's check back in with our men in the pits, Fred Armstrong.
Well, Dwayne, you guys have been pretty dominant, but you got to be hoping for a caution. You got to be running out of tires. How long can you go?
Actually, with the Hoosier tires, we can hang on quite a bit. We've been running the practice tires, and they look real good. We've got probably 70 laps on those, beating up on them pretty hard.
When is fuel going to bring you down the pit lane, though?
I think we can hang on to about 145.
Well, Mike, you think they're going to need tires or fuel first?
Good question, Ralph. Those Hoosier tires look like they're holding up really well tonight. The Goodyears maybe aren't quite where they want to be. See Harvick there sliding back to the field on Goodyear. So, like we've seen a lot of times in the tire battle.
The number 12 making his way down pit road, Austin Cameron. El Cajon, California, the yellow flag comes out.
That's bad timing for Cameron to be on pit road and cost him flies on a short track. They lose so much time getting in the pit there.
Some of these competitors will need this yellow flag, too.
Well, we talked about what came first, the tires or the gas, what they need first. That issue's been decided.
We got a better crew, so our pit stops are going to win this, guys.
It's Gilliland, and then at number 1, feeling pretty confident with his crew right now. No word as to what the yellow is for. There is no incident on the racetrack. But some of these top competitors are going to take advantage of it, including Smith and Gilliland, it looks like.
Leader Gary Smith rolls the Napa Chevrolet into the pit stall. The crew now going to work on the right side as Dwayne Knorr and the boys do their work with the right side tires. A little problem with the left side, or I should say the right side rear tire changer. Now the tire goes on, the right front is done. Now 2 cans of 76 Racing gasoline go into Gary Smith's machine. Butch Gilliland is already down and away. He will gain track position on Smith. Now Smith goes down and away. A long pit stop has cost Gary Smith dearly in terms of track position.
Well, Gilliland said he had a better crew and the pit stops would win the race, and it definitely got him out front. Now Woodside had stayed out to lead a lap.
Sean Woodside now pulls into his stall, the 1-800 cleanup Pontiac. The crew goes to work on the right side. 1 can of 76 Racing gasoline, 2 right side tires, a small chassis adjustment. They'll put 1 turn in the right side of wedge. The right side tire changers have done their job. The jack goes down, and Sean Woodside is away.
So Woodside has stayed out to lead 1 lap, makes his pit stop. He's in, he's fresh, tires and fuel. He's ready to go as well. So the field taking advantage of this yellow, and all the top competitors coming down pit road to get that fresh fuel. Let's see if Gilliland's call about pit crews making the difference can hold on with 121 laps complete here at Portland.
Minehead Hayward. I'm used to challenges, and I challenge you to try Zest deodorant body wash. Now, I hear you snickering.
But Ironhead, aren't body washes for ladies?
Ow! Listen, chump. Zest doesn't have heavy moisturizers.
But Ironhead, what's with this thingy?
That lather builder works with Zest body wash to give you twice the fresh-smelling lather of this bar, and it rinses cleaner, so you're cleaner, more refreshed, period.
Zest body wash. Get cleaner, more refreshed.
Get zestfully clean.
Watch the US 500 presented by Toyota. Feel the speed. Sunday, July 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central on ABC, the FedEx Championship Series.
Hello, I'm Alan DeCantonis. Rediscover the glory of racing's past with Speed Vision's unparalleled library of archival footage. Join us as we bring thrillingly to life the great drivers, the classic moments, and the epic battles which together define what we now know as Legends of Motorsport.
Legends of Motorsport, weekdays at 6 Eastern.
Welcome back to the City of Roses, Portland, Oregon. Ralph Sheehan alongside of Michael Waltrip and Fred Armstrong as we go back to green. Butch Gilliland and that red number 1 taking over the lead after a yellow flag situation. His crew getting him in and out of pit road fast. and Mike, they've made a big difference.
Butch called that one, didn't he? He told them, he said, you guys are the difference. You're going to get me out front. We're going to win this race. And that more than likely was the only pit stop you could see for the leaders in this event. He's got track position. We saw how important that was early in the race. When the leaders were coming up on lappers, they were having trouble getting around them. So I'm sure Butch is feeling pretty confident right now, but he's got a strong car behind him, Gary Smith. That car's been good all night long.
It's got to be a very comfortable feeling for a driver to know that when you come down pit road, your crew's going to actually help you gain spots as opposed to losing them.
Well, that's the great thing for me is driving for the legendary Wood Brothers racing team. Man, they can do some pit stops on Sunday afternoon, and it is a great feeling knowing when you come in the pits you're going to make up some ground, especially when you have a car to take advantage of it, like you see with Butch here. He had a great pit stop, but since that point, he's pulled away from the field. He said, you guys got me out in front. I'm going to show you how what I can do now. And he's not only showing the crew, he's showing everybody. Smith is hanging in there, though,
Clear racetrack in front of him, a big advantage for them.
Yeah, it is, but that traffic isn't too far up on the horizon, I can promise you. He running lap times like he is right now. He's running real close to what those guys qualify at. So anytime you run speeds like that, it won't be long until you catch these guys that don't have clear traffic and are well off the pace because of dueling with each other. They'll be back up on the lappers before long. And as we saw earlier, that's when things got real interesting. Looks like, though, Gary Smith is getting to close in on him. He's lessening that distance with every turn of the wheel. So this is going to shape up to be a battle.
That Napa-sponsored Chevrolet, the blue number 16, closing in on the red Ford of Gilliland just in front of him. And Sean Woodside in the blue and orange 07 runs in third. Now, Mike, our leader, is also running the Thunderbird, which we don't see in NASCAR Winston Cup competition much anymore.
Now, there's only one Taurus in this race, and it was on the pole. So these guys had these cars built during the off-season, and they didn't allow the Taurus to run in Winston West for like the third or fourth race of the year. So they haven't changed over. Quite frankly, Ralph, on this little half-mile racetrack, I'm not real sure that's a big issue. Certainly, Butch Gilliland doesn't think it's a big issue. He started his own team this year, and he's done a great job with that team. And decided the Thunderbird would be plenty good for this event. Right now, it's kind of hard to argue with him.
For the third race in a row, the NASCAR Winston West Series competing on a track of a half-mile distance. There are only 6 short tracks on the schedule this year.
That series is taking a real turn, as Dennis Hoops was talking earlier. They're racing in California now, Pikes Peak, Vegas, just lots of super speedways, and the cars used to totally just be on bias fly tires, but when they go to these big speedways now, they're running on radials, and they're getting that radial experience as well. So not only is the series poised for the future with sponsorship from Winston and increased point fund, but also they're gearing their drivers up for the future with putting them on radial tires and teaching them what it's like to deal with those things on a super speedway. So I'm excited about Winston West for the future.
Mike, I think one of the reasons why Smith is closing in, it seems to me that our leader Gilliland has a bit of a push, especially down here in 3 and 4.
Oh, here he comes too. Smith on the inside. He talked about that push before the pit stop, and he was making such ground on the old tires. I wonder, Ralph, did he leave the car alone? We said he'd be silly to mess with it because he was making up ground on everybody, but on the pressure tires, it does indeed, like you said, look like that car's pushing out in the turn, and Smith right there. What a battle.
Hey, I got one right. He does have a push on.
I would determine that. That would be my observation as your color commentator.
I'll take the credit. Thanks. Smith retakes the lead. So Gilliland's crew got him up front, but the car not allowing him to stay there right now.
No, he's not giving up, though. There goes Smith into the lead. When you got to pinch those cars down, Ralph, off these turns and not be able to swing all the way out to the wall, it's difficult.
The leaders are going to put Brandon Ash another lap down. There's a 23 on the inside. He's smoking. Let's check in with Fred Armstrong with more on the story of Ash.
Well, Ed, you guys put Brandon on the pole today. It was a pretty good start to the day, but things have turned a bit sour. What happened to the race car?
Well, on the get-go, we started blistering right-side tires. We blistered both right-side tires, and now we blew a brake line. So we have no brakes whatsoever, but he's coasting around there. The points are important to us, so we're going to try to hang in there.
You have to be pretty proud of young Brandon, though. He's put on quite a show, at least in qualifying here today.
Yeah, you know, he worked 16 hours a day on that car by himself, does all the mechanical, does the body work, does everything, and drives it both. So, you know, I'm real proud of him.
Crew chief and car owner Ed Ash.
So the former Coos Bay Speedway late model champion, Brandon Ash, now 9 laps down. If you take a look at your leader, that number 16, Smith, out front.
Ed Ash better hope that NASCAR isn't watching speed vision right now. Because they hear he's out there about any brakes, they'll bring him in. That's something that they strictly don't allow. They'll probably take a look at that.
Smith, of course, driving the Napa-back Chevrolet. Chevy, by the way, with 14 victories, has the most wins among manufacturers in the modern era.
There's that lap traffic we talked about. These guys are up in the middle of it. Scott Gaylord there on the bottom. You can see Butch lost the lead, but he hasn't lost a lot of ground.
No, he's sticking right with him. He, too, now will get around Gaylord, the 10-year series veteran of the Winston West Series. Down the back straightaway. The TCI Digital Cable 200 continues here at Portland Speedway. We'll be back with plenty more. 166 laps completed.
The Arm & Hammer Challenge. Now that you've worked up a sweat, put our antiperspirant under one arm and one without baking soda under the other. This odor sensor beeps when it detects odor, but Arm & Hammer absorbed and eliminated the odor.
Wow. Tomorrow I'll use it under both arms.
If you had $40,000, would you pay off your bills, make home improvements, or keep some for emergencies? Well, at First Plus, you can get up to $40,000 or more with no equity required. And you can get pre-qualified right now. Here's how.
Do you own your home? Do you have good credit? Do you want to pay off your bills and lower your monthly payments?
If you said yes to all 4 questions, call First Plus now. Tell them you're pre-qualified to apply for the money you need. Call First Plus at 1-800-510-PLUS.
Watch the US 500, presented by Toyota. Feel the speed. Sunday, July 26th, 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 Central on ABC, the FedEx Championship Series.
The TCI Digital Cable 200 continues here in the Rose City, Portland, Oregon. There is your leader, driving that blue Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Number 16, Gary Smith out front. Let's check in with the crew chief for Butch Gilliland, the number 1 car. Fred?
David Gilliland, Butch is strong, but Gary Smith seems to be a bit stronger right now. Can you catch him?
Yeah, he's pretty strong. We're waiting a little more towards the end. Our crew and the car and Butch, he's done a great job so far, and we're just waiting for the end there.
Is it difficult at this stage of the race to baby the tires when you know you got to make up ground on the racetrack?
Yeah, it is, but ultimately, that's what's going to win us the race. Our left side tires have got 170 laps on them right now, and it looks like we may go 200 on them. So it's really going to come down to a deal who saved their tires the best.
That's David Gilliland, hoping he can bring his man home to the first back-to-back win here in 23 years.
All I know, Mike, is anybody that would put my name on his crew shirt can't be bad.
He doesn't look bad. He looks like he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
NASCAR's giving us 2 more tires now if we need them. All the Goodyear's blistered real bad, so just so you know. But the Goodyear guys are hurt. You're sitting third. We need to keep doing what we're doing. You're looking good. Laps are going to have a yellow so we can check our tires for the Goodyear team.
Wow, well, Mike, you hear the word from the crew chief for Sean Woodside. The NASCAR officials getting a little... Oh, and look at this. The problem down in turn 1. Oh. Harvick gets collected. The 26 was involved. Ron Burns, that was the green and white or green and yellow car. And that is going to bring up the yellow. Now, NASCAR was talking about making a mandatory pit stop, but they've got one now whether they wanted it or not.
And also, the interesting thing will be here is again, what happens on these pit stops. We saw the leader there dive into the pit. Harvick obviously with some damage into the pit. Gilliland as well. Can he make up these spots under the when the car's on the jack, or will he not?
Well, let's check in downstairs. Fred Armstrong with more.
This is a huge break for Butch Gilliland. They were sure they had a tire going down. They were about to bring him in under green for left side tires, but now they can slap a New set of Hoosiers on this machine and send him underway under caution.
All right, we're going to beat him out, guys. Come on, nice and smooth. Go, 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 go. Got it, we got it.
Another great stop by that. Oh, a little bit overconfident, I guess. They thought they had the lead, and Smith snuck out right in front of them.
That would have been twice that Butch Gilliland's crew had gotten him the lead, but he comes back out in second with fresh rubber on. Maybe they'll fix that push situation, and maybe Gilliland can get the lead this time on his own.
He wasn't too happy with his left side tires. They felt like they had one going down, as Fred said, so that could have explained the performance falling off on that Ford. It's going to be interesting last 20 laps or so. It'll be real exciting.
Kevin Harvick came out of that situation the worst. He had that body damage to the car. He's supposed to be going to Nazareth tomorrow for NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series event on the other side of the country. Hey, don't go away. We'll be right back with more Speed Vision coverage of the TCI Digital Cable 200 NASCAR Winston West Series right after this.
Now, the ultimate in extreme crash action has twice the excitement in this exclusive new 2-video set, Awesome Crashes and Motorcycle Madness. This action-packed set features some of the most awesome and devastating crashes you've ever seen. From the outlaw sprint cars to superbikes and powerboats, Awesome Crashes is just what the name says, awesome. And if you want motorcycle crashes, look no further. Motorcycle Madness has bone-chilling two-wheel crashes that'll make your spine tingle. You get both action-packed crash videos for the incredible price of only $19.95. But if you order within the next 30 minutes, we'll include Easter absolutely free. It's just what the name says, and it's free if you order now. You get all three incredible videos for the price of one, a $60 value. Yours for the next 30 minutes for only $19.95. The clock is ticking, so call now. To order, call 1-800-684-8866. That's 1-800-684-8866. Or send check or money order to the address shown. That's 1-800-684-8866. Call now.
Hold on to your melon as these two-wheeling warriors rumble down America's toughest racetracks. With Duhamel out for the season, who will emerge victorious from this wild crew of misfits? AMA Superbike, pumped with fuel and fury, live on Speed Vision.
We're back to Portland for the final 20 laps here of this NASCAR Winston West Series event. Ralph Shaheen along with the driver of the Sitco 4 in the Winston Cup Tour, Michael Waltrip, and down on pit road for us, Fred Armstrong. There's a look at the top 10. Mike, only 5 cars left on the lead lap. They got 20 laps to decide.
It's going to be great. Dan Obrist, one of those 5 cars on the lead lap, too. First race back after recovering from a heart attack. I'm sure he's very excited and looking forward to these final 20 laps. This is going to be a great race. We've seen close competition between these 3 cars all day long. They've been right at the front. They are the best 3 cars. They're right together with 20 to go. What else could you ask for?
Smith, Gilliland, and Woodside battling it out. And now look at this. Woodside in the 07 trying to get inside for second place on Gilliland.
Cars getting crossed up off the corner. Those tires take a couple of laps to get some temperature in before they're really biting to the racetrack. And the more they tangle up and battle each other, the more Gary Smith's going to be smiling. He'll be able to step away from them.
Woodside in that 07 is the only driver to finish in the top 10 in all 7 Winston West races so far this season. Looks like he's going to make it 8 in a row. But Gilliland's still pushing a little bit, Mike.
He is. He can't get that car to behave the way he wants to do on these short runs. When he ran 140-some laps and came on so strong at the end of that run, that should have kind of tipped us off to say, you know, he's got a real good setup for a long run, but maybe it isn't what he needs for the short haul. Be interesting to see. I'd like to see O'Shawn maybe get around Butch. I don't want to see Butch have any problems, but if Sean could get around Butch, we'd have us a repeat of Altamont Brewing, and that'd be something that'd be great to be sitting here watching on Speed Vision to see how it unfolds. Sean looks like he's got the measure of Butch right now, but you know, as we stated earlier, it's just so hard to pass on this little racetrack.
Yeah, I think Gilliland just doesn't want to see that battle as much as you do, because he's not giving it up easy, is he?
He's hanging right in there, but the car, as you as you pointed out, it wants to slip up the hill, and every time he does, it opens the door for Woodside. He's able to look inside. He's been able to get in there, but he hasn't been able to finish the deal yet.
Well, the other thing that's important here for Woodside is he sits second in the point standings behind Harvick, and we know that Harvick's already got his problems. Every position that Woodside can gain here as he gathers the car back up is going to help him tonight in advancing through the point.
I think that shows you how bad he realizes that and how bad he wants it. He's doing anything he can in that Pontiac to try to get around Gilliland and hopefully get a shot at Smith. But I'll tell you what, that Chevrolet Monte Carlo right there looks like it is hooked up. It runs the bottom of the racetrack, turns well, but yet you never see it bobble up off the corner. It drives straight up off the turn. And sitting here as a driver, I'm pretty envious about the way he's got that car set up right now. It looks like it's just perfect as they put another lap on our pole sitter from earlier tonight.
Smith on the outside. He sits third in the points behind Woodside. And Gilliland, who runs in second, he's eighth in the point standing. Everybody could get big advantage of a good finish here tonight.
This track is 70-some years old, Ralph, and man, it provides some great racing. It's fun to watch, isn't it? These big race cars sliding around, passing and carrying on this track. I'm just enjoying this race.
It's been an exciting night here in Portland for sure. Smith out front trying to do what his dad Roy Smith did back in 1990 by winning this 200-lapper here at Portland Speedway. Butch Gilliland, who runs in second, last year's winner of this very event. He would become the first driver in over 10 seasons. The last 11 years we've had different winners. Gilliland trying to be the first one to break that streak.
He looks like he's at least stopped losing distance to our leader. He kind of fell back 10, 12 car lengths and has been able to stabilize that deficit. So, in fact, I don't know, Ralph, what do you think? Pulling in a car length or two is looking pretty good.
I think you're right, Mike. He definitely looks like he's closing in as they put Ron Burns down another lap. That gap is definitely decreasing.
All right, this is what we've been sitting here for. This is what NASCAR racing is famous for on a short track on a Saturday night. It's just exciting racing that somehow inevitably always seems to come down to the last 5 laps or so before you know who's going to win.
Gilliland definitely running a lane higher as well than Smith.
He is, and that's probably a function of his car being tight. He found out that car wouldn't work on the bottom. He didn't force it. I think that's the key to being a great race car driver is you have to adapt to what your car will give you. If it won't run the bottom, you got to figure out a way to run it on the top. And Butch is obviously a very talented race car driver. And kind of started closing in on Gary Smith, and maybe Gary just stepped on it a little bit because it looks like he's beginning to get back away a little bit.
And they have definitely left Sean Woodside behind. And you know Smith is hearing this from the crew, so he's got to be getting a little anxious as well as those laps tick away. Now there's Woodside. He's a third-place competitor going out of your screen. And there's lap traffic in front of these guys, and Mike, they're going to catch him before the end of this race. There's Harvick. Well, just a handful of laps remaining. Can Gilliland get him? Stay with us here on Speed Vision as we wind down the TCI Digital Cable 200.
When you can't escape the scorching heat and the forecast says there's no relief in sight, here's the solution that'll keep you cool and comfortable wherever you are. An exclusive patented design from the Sharper Image, the personal cooling system. It keeps your body feeling so nice and cool you might think you're wearing a miniature air conditioner. But here's how it works. Simply add a few ounces of water. Switch on the Whisper Quiet fan. And the accelerated evaporative cooling process creates a cool zone that's up to 20 degrees cooler than the hot, dry air around you.
It's very hot out here today, and it doesn't, right now I feel really cool and relieved.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that makes me feel nice and cool. Yeah.
The coated high-tech cooling plates are cold to the touch and conduct heat away from the body while adjusting to fit your neck comfortably.
Yeah, it's really light and comfortable. I barely noticed it at all. It's really cool, like right around my shoulders. It's starting in right in your back area.
Immediately when I put it on, I could feel my body cool down. This is great. It keeps me cool while I'm fishing all day long.
If you love the outdoors but can't stand the heat, whether you're a player or a fan, The personal cooling system is designed to cool your body for hours without getting you wet.
As soon as I put it on, I felt cooled off right away. I've been jogging probably for about an hour and a half now, and I just put this on, and this makes a world of difference. I think I can jog for another hour with this.
This thing's fantastic.
Well, really, anytime I'm outside, camping or hiking.
Make me feel really good.
Now you can beat the heat no matter where you are. Golfing, fishing, gardening, or even mowing the lawn. Call the toll-free number on your screen now to order your Sharper Image personal cooling system for just 2 easy payments of $24.50. Call the toll-free number now for your miniature, wearable personal cooling system.
From the Sharper Image, of course.
Here's what's coming up on Speed Vision.
Welcome back to Portland, Oregon. We're just a handful of laps away from the checkered flag and maybe the first career Winston West victory for our leader, Gary Smith. Mike, he's got smoke pouring off that right rear.
Oh, man. Right here at the end of the race, 3 to go. That's serious, Ralph. What do you... I mean, you're the one that said the Gillen was pushing. I'm going to ask you, what do you think's happened to that car? I can't figure it out.
Oh, look at this. We got a spinner. The 10 car, Tony Toast, he's out of the way. Don't ask me to predict this one. I'm only good for one guess a day. But Gilliland, you know, can sniff that, and he's coming hard.
Yeah, they're still hard on the gas. No caution for that spin. They're racing hard to finish. Whatever that problem is, it is affecting the performance on that Chevrolet. Hung up behind a lap car here with the Spokane race car and Butch Gilliland closing in. I can't stand to see what might happen here.
It looks like, Mike, it might be something rubbing because it's real bad when they're in the turns, when the body is torqued and tweaked. Maybe not. Look at that. He gets hammered from behind by Gilliland.
If something wasn't rubbing before, it is now. Gilliland, he's plumb serious about this deal. Gary Smith is going to have to do unbelievable work here to win his first ever NASCAR Winston West race.
He'll take the bottom. Gilliland to the outside. Who's going to get it? Oh, Gilliland slides it off the floor, and Smith has got his first career Winston West win with a smoking right rear. What an incredible finish. Gary Smith does what his dad did back in 1990. He wins this big 200-lapper here at Portland. There's a look at the top 10. Let's head downstairs for a very happy victory lane. Here's Fred Armstrong.
Gary Smith pops out of his machine. The Napa Chevrolet coming across the line, smoking all the way. Gary Smith came in second last year. Gary, you finally brought her home to victory. Man, you got our blood pumping with the smoke coming out of the back of that car. Did you think you'd make it?
No, Fred, I mean, I went down in the corner. I lost brake. I mean, I had no brake pedal. I know 3 or 4 laps to go, I was just in shock. I just went, I can't lose this race. And they said, just keep driving your butt off. And, you know, I got to thank Bill McAnally, Napa Auto Parts, Martin Sr., Tribal Tech. What a race car, man. This whole team's done a superb job. They deserve to be in victory lane.
Even prior to your troubles there, Butch Gilliland was pretty strong today. Were you worried about him?
I mean, we had the fastest race car right from the get-go, Fred. I mean, we beat us out of the pits. We paced ourselves. We got back by him, and we went to the lead where this Napa Chevrolet deserved to be.
He came home second in 1997 and 1998. He wins the TCI Digital Cable 200. Gary Smith.
Car owner Bill McAnally thrilled with that one. As you take a look at the championship points after 8 races, Sean Woodside into the points lead after finishing 3rd here tonight. Let's check back in downstairs where Fred Armstrong is caught up with Butch Gilliland, who comes home second.
Butch Gilliland, you came so close to being the first driver to repeat here in 23 years. It's a tough task for anybody to do, but you came home second. You have to feel pretty good about the run today.
Yeah, we do. You know, in practice, the car wasn't working good, and they really had to do a lot of work on it. And it went from a 10th place car up to a first, second place car. So we're real happy with the car, and Gary ran a real good race.
When you saw the smoke coming out of the back of Gary's car, did you think maybe he had a shot there?
I really did. You know, actually I did. I got around him on the outside there, and he just moved up to hold me off, and he should have done that. I mean, I guess we could have caused a wreck there, but I'm happy with the second. I'm glad he got his first win, too.
That's Butch Gilliland, always racing him clean right down to the finish. He'll come home second in the TCI Digital Cable 200.
What a great finish. There's the victory lane ceremonies. And Mike, what'd you think?
Oh, man, that was that was a great race, and what a way to get your first win. That's how you want it to be. You know, you want to be sliding, smoking, racing, all the way to the checkers.
It was a big thrill for car owner Bill McAnally and first Winston West ever victory for Gary Smith. For Fred Armstrong and my good buddy Michael Walter, hey, good luck in that stick-tail car the rest of the year. I'm Ralph Sheen. So long.